Breaking at 7, a local doctor arrested for allegedly murdering his wife. The confession police gathered during their investigation. Plus, the verdict is in. How much Tyree Sampson's family is now owed by the free-fall ride manufacturer. Next at 7.
Tonight's primetime lineup on WESH 2 is sponsored by Orlando Health Heart and Vascular Institute, ranked top 50 in the nation by U.S. News and World Report.
WESH 2 News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Stuart Moore. We have a lot of breaking news for you. First, we begin with an Orlando Health doctor arrested in connection with the murder of his wife.
WESH 2's Haley Crumblehome is joining us live from Ocoee Police Department tonight. And Haley, police say he confessed to this crime.
We're actually at the Windermere Police Department. This is an interesting situation because different entities had to be involved. A homicide unit was called in from neighboring Winter Garden. So a lot of different agencies involved here. But according to Windermere Police, they say that Dr. Thomas Wenzel made at least 2 confessions today alone related to killing his wife. And they also say this comes after a death investigation that actually started a few days prior. Wenzel is now facing a second-degree murder charge. And we did reach out to Orlando Health about all of this. They sent us a statement simply saying that Wenzel's practice in Ocoee is closed due to what they're calling unforeseen circumstances, and they are working on rescheduling his patients. Covering Orange County live in Windermere, Haley Crumblehome, WESH 2 News.
All right, Haley, thank you. We have more breaking news tonight in Orange County. $310 million. That is what a jury awarded the family of Tyree Sampson. He is the teenager who died after slipping off of the free fall ride on iDrive 2 years ago. WESH 2's Luana Munoz is joining us in studio. And Luana, this was just an emotional day in court.
Oh, absolutely. It was. Tyree's mother, father, and brother all testified in court today. They were suing the ride's foreign manufacturer who did not appear in court. The jury taking less than 45 minutes to reach a verdict. They ruled both Tyree's mom and dad are both being entitled to $155 million each for emotional damage and medical bills. That's a total of $310 million per parent. This story made national headlines when it happened. A state investigation found that Tyree slipped out of the harness after his seat had been adjusted to handle the teen's larger size. The Sampson family sued Icon Park and the Free Falls owner, but both parties settled the lawsuits against them. After the verdict was read, we heard from Tyree's parents, who were very emotional.
I see why any kid want to come here and have fun, but why my child got to be the one? Ain't no money gonna solve this problem. It ain't gonna solve this problem. You putting a Band-Aid on it, maybe, but it ain't solve the problem. Every day I got to wake up and I still can't see him.
The ride was eventually torn down, but Tyree's family is still hoping that no one experiences a similar tragedy. The Tyree Sampson Act was passed here in the state of Florida and helps increase safety regulations for thrill rides, which includes allowing inspectors to show up unannounced. Back to you.
Luana, thank you. Also breaking within the last hour, House lawmakers have voted against releasing an ethics committee report on former Florida Representative Matt Gaetz following allegations of sexual misconduct. Democrats wanted the report to be published even though Gaetz left Congress and withdrew as President-elect Donald Trump's nominee for Attorney General. Gaetz has denied the allegations. We need to talk forecast now, here with first warning meteorologist Marquise Mita. Marquise, it's been cold the last several nights, but then today we got a little glimpse of Florida fall.
It was nice, right? The sun was out, birds were chirping, temperatures were rising. The sun's still going to be out tomorrow, but we've got some change coming our way. This cold front that you see moving across the panhandle, well, that'll pass us throughout the day tomorrow. And after it does pass, you can kiss the 70s goodbye, at least for Friday. We'll be back there over the course of the weekend, though. And this cold front will come equipped with a few isolated showers tonight and overnight into your Friday morning. So here's a look at your highs for the next 4 days. Take a look at Friday. You're back in the mid-60s. So all the work that we did to get to the mid-70s today, that will quickly be erased, but give it some time, a few extra days, and we're back in the 70s on Sunday, Monday, and the 80s on Tuesday. Right now, though, you're still holding on to some of that heat that we accumulated over the course of your afternoon. If you're in Sanford at 67 degrees, you share those same numbers with DeLand. 66 inside the metro, and overall, this will be a warm evening for us as temperatures only stall in the 50s tonight with increased increased cloud coverage on your Thursday night, and you could wake up to a sprinkle of rain on Friday, but what you're waking up to on Saturday will be much cooler temperatures, especially for our north and western communities across I-75, that western half of Marion County. You're under a freeze watch because after the passage of this cold front, temperatures could drop to the low 30s, and I'll have more on that coming up in the next 15 minutes.
We have some more breaking news for you right now. The sister of a man shot and killed during a road rage incident is speaking out tonight.
We first told you about this incident on East Colonial on Monday. WESH 2's Tony Atkins is live right now in Orange County. Tony, you had a chance to talk with her about this incident.
And Stuart, as you can imagine, this family is still in shock after what happened earlier this week. Now, Mihail Sikov was the person who was killed in that shooting on Monday. His sister says that he comes from a small family. It's him, his sister, his nephew, and their mother. And they live in Illinois, in the Chicagoland area. His plan in just a few weeks was to move from Florida to Illinois to be closer to his family, but now that won't happen. Now, police have yet to make an announcement on any arrests in this case. His sister says she's hoping for justice, but we'll be staying on top of this story as things play out in just a tragic shooting from just a few days ago. I'm covering Orange County live tonight. Tony Atkins, WESH 2 News.
Another setback for NASA and its plan to return to the moon. NASA Chief Bill Nelson announced today the next Artemis mission is delayed yet again. The 4-person crew was scheduled to blast off late next year on a mission to orbit the moon and then return to Earth. But this afternoon, Nelson said the launch is now targeted for April of 2026. The decision comes after a lengthy look at the heat shield of the Orion capsule, which will eventually be used for the crewed missions. During Artemis 1, which was uncrewed, the capsule's heat shield sustained excessive damage, and today Nelson said that NASA will proceed with the heat shield but would make changes to Orion's re-entry path.
Additionally, we need to complete our updates to the Orion environmental controls and the life support systems that were identified earlier this year, and that's a very important part. The ECLIS system, the life support system of Artemis 2, needs to be checked out. That's a very important goal and accomplishment before we go translunar injection to the moon.
Now, coincidence or not, the announcement comes just one day after President-elect Trump nominated Nelson's successor, billionaire Jared Isaacman, as the next NASA administrator. Isaacman has flown on 2 private missions for SpaceX, including the Polaris Dawn mission, which included the first private spacewalk. Meanwhile, the show goes on for SpaceX. A Falcon 9 blasted off just before lunch from KSC. No Starlink satellites on this one. This mission took a Sirius XM satellite into orbit, and then the first stage booster landed safely on a drone ship out in the Atlantic. WESH 2 sits down with the sheriff of Volusia County to talk about the new plan to protect families with children with autism after a series of drownings.
And we'll look at the hidden costs that come with caring for someone with autism.
It was a warm afternoon here in Central Florida, but frosty conditions may be closer than you think. Coming up after the break, we'll take a closer look at what areas could be waking up closer to the freezing level to start off your weekend.
WESH 2 is bringing you all the action from the 2024 OUC Orlando Half Marathon. Join Jason Guy, Meredith McDonough, and the WESH 2 News team live with every angle of the race, from the start to the finish line at Lake Eola Park, with interviews and real-time updates throughout the course. The OUC Orlando Half Marathon. Live coverage starts Saturday, December 7th at 5 a.m. Sponsored by Cool Today.
This is Kellyanne. She's your morning meteorologist and Central Florida's certified most accurate.
No matter the forecast, I've got your day covered.
Start your day with meteorologist Kellyanne Class and WESH 2 First Warning Weather. This is Kellyanne. She's your morning meteorologist and Central Florida's certified most accurate.
No matter the forecast, I've got your day covered.
Start your day with meteorologist Kellyanne Class and WESH 2 First Warning Weather.
This First Warning Weather update is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin.
It is common for children with autism to wander or run off.
We saw it happen at least 3 times last month in Central Florida, and it ended tragically. The Volusia County Sheriff is now taking action after the recent deaths involving children with autism. The sheriff is partnering with several organizations to offer specialized water safety training and give more than 100 families a tracker for their kids.
They either fit on your wrist or they fit on the child's ankle, and it's almost like our ankle monitors are. Once it's on, it's not coming off. And law enforcement is able to track your child.
The program is called Project Lifesaver. The sheriff says he hopes to have everything up and running within a month. And we know keeping children safe is a full-time job, especially if your child has autism.
WESH Volusia County reporter Pamela Combs spoke with parents taking extra measures at home so their kids don't wander off, but it comes at a cost. For those diagnosed with autism and tend to wander away, you can apply for a big red safety box through the National Autism Association. It's free and comes with 2 free door alarms and other safety materials. All right, it was still kind of chilly out there, especially early today, especially for the manatees and the water. Chopper 2 was over Blue Springs State Park, where they were huddling together to stay warm. A little warmer out there for most of us, but for some longtime Floridians, including the manatees, it's still a little chilly.
It's just a roller coaster. It's up, down, up, down. It's just this time of year, Marquise.
And it never ends, right?
Yeah.
So, but I will say the manatees know best. Sometimes it just takes the water a little bit longer to warm up. The temperature today wasn't too bad, though. We were back in the mid 70s here in Central Florida. It's not going to be the case, though, as we move across the rest of your work week. We're dropping rather quickly, falling from the 70s to the 60s on Friday and Saturday. However, as we continue across your Sunday forecast, that's when we start to heat up. We'll have a lot more consistent sunshine in the afternoon, but we're fairly sunny on Saturday for your race day forecast. We have the half marathon taking place in the morning. Going to be a cooler start, though, 47 degrees early on. Then we get back to the upper 60s in the afternoon, mid 70s Sunday, upper 70s Monday. And now it feels like spring on Tuesday as we welcome the lower 80s ahead of your next cold front. We'll be talking about that in just a moment. But here's what's working its way in right now. Your first of 2 cold fronts over the next 7 days. This one's going to be a drier system. We could see a couple lighter chances for rain tonight and throughout the early morning hours tomorrow. But the bigger change it will bring our way is just going to be cooler temperatures. Take you out to your tower cam network here in Orlando, looking over the I-4 corridor. Mostly cloudy skies are back now with temperatures in the middle of the 60s. What kept us warm today was that breeze from the south and the west. Right now it's being ushered in at 5 miles per hour. Your next 12 hours shape up like this. We'll hang on to the clouds here in Orlando, and that'll keep us warmer than our seasonal average. In fact, this is the warmest nights that we've seen so far throughout the month of December. I know it's only the first week, but we're only in the upper 50s as we start off the morning, trending cloudy and maybe just a little bit wet for our communities north of the I-4 corridor. Ultimately, though, rain chances come to an end in the afternoon, and we're much drier as well as sunshine is welcome back into the picture. So it's a sunny finish to your Friday, just a cooler finish as well. Here's a look at your low temperatures dropping, though, after the passage of the cold front. We mentioned tonight and tomorrow morning is going to be trending warm. 40 in Ocala, but you drop down to 33-degree overnight lows to start off the weekend. As for your Friday afternoon, temperatures could range anywhere between 59 and 71 degrees as the clouds look to part ways and we welcome the sunshine. But we are trending cool to start off the day on Saturday. In fact, it's going to be a freeze watch that's been issued by the National Weather Service across the western half of Marion County. That's where temperatures could creep down towards the freezing level. And as you factor in the wind chill, it could feel like 30 degrees across I-75 in Ocala, 33 in the Villages, 33 in Wildwood. Even it's going to feel like 39 here in Orlando. But thankfully, with more sunshine, we will get warmer and warmer as the weekend continues. 68 on Saturday. 75 as we're gorgeous and seasonal on Sunday, and we'll carry that warming trend into your start of the work week. However, here's your next cold front. We'll see that marching across the southeast Tuesday and into Wednesday, and it will come equipped with some rain showers. This is going to be the most significant rain we've seen so far throughout the month of December, but that's on the back end of your forecast. Before we get there, though, cooler weather Friday and Saturday, upper 60s as we kick off the weekend, mid 70s as we finish it, and then we'll move all the way into the lower 80s Tuesday before the cold front arrives Wednesday and cools you back down into the 60s on Thursday.
Today, police and deputies gathered to dedicate a brand new lakefront home. The proceeds will benefit several sheriff's offices and the Orlando Police Department. The latest hero home is now on the market. Local builders and vendors make it all happen. The lakefront home is in Seminole County, and once it's sold, will make a big difference in a number of lives. The sale of the home will help first responders and their families in their times of greatest needs. From OPD and the sheriff's offices in Seminole, Orange, and Osceola counties.
We're doing a great thing for the people that take care of us in the community.
And when those families face critical times, there are indeed voids that simply public organizations cannot fill.
Those men and women were patrolling our streets while we slept at risk to their own lives, something they do every single day.
The 4-bedroom home will be listed for just over $700,000. Sheriff Mina sharing how the foundation intends to help the children left behind after the murder of Lieutenant Ellie Shea. This is the 3rd hero home to be completed, the first one in Seminole County.
Guys, it's about to be lit at Lake Eola. Tomorrow night, city leaders will flip the switch on the Christmas tree. The ceremony begins tomorrow night at 5 with a holiday market and performances at the Walt Disney Amphitheater. At the same time, in Winter Park, the city will host its annual tree lighting, where there will be strolling carolers, children's choirs, and snow slides for some holiday fun. It'll be held in Central Park along Park Avenue. And over in Volusia County, there will be a ceremony in Orange City with music and a visit from Santa. There will also be a free movie showing of The Grinch. The festivities kick off at 5 o'clock at City Hall.
It's going to be an exciting time all across Central Florida.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a big day.
It is. Oh, it's your birthday.
It is my birthday as well. Just throwing that out there. Question News has our reporters out right now gathering new information for our stories tonight.
Summer Knowles is live in studio with what we're working on. Hey,
we all know it's your birthday, so you keep telling us over and over. All right, so Michelle, we are still following a developing story out of New York tonight. That's as authorities continue searching for the gunman who killed the United Healthcare CEO. The new images just released by investigators giving a better look at the possible shooter and the evidence left behind at the scene. Plus, people in Volusia County still have plenty of questions about persistent flooding issues. The answers officials had for them tonight at 11. Back to you.
All right, Summer, thank you. That does it for now. Be sure to join us again at 10 on the CW18 and 11 o'clock right here on WESH 2.
And the news is always on WESH.com and the free WESH 2 News mobile app. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you for watching WESH 2 News. Get caught up on local news, originals, and more. Download the Very Local app and stream for free on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, iOS, and Android mobile devices.